Hello, grade sevens. In this video, I'm going to explain how to do the next assignment in science, which is going to be on describing different sources of thermal energy. So first things first, I'm going to show you where to find the assignment. So we can go to course tools, then go to content. And then what I want to do is I want to find on the left-hand side here, Science 7, Unit 4, Heat and Temperature. Then I want to go down to lesson 11, which is sources of thermal energy. And then if I look up here, I have two documents. I have sources of thermal energy matching assignment and sources of thermal energy summary table. Okay, so let's pull up what this looks like. All right, the objective of this assignment is going to be to look at different sources of energy and to provide a description of them, to classify them as renewable or non-renewable, and then to list a disadvantage or a con of that source of energy. Now, the different sources of energy we're going to look at are going to be chemical energy. And when I say chemical energy here, it's specifically dealing with the burning of fossil fuels. We have cogeneration, electrical energy, and electrical energy in this sense is going to refer to hydroelectricity, geothermal energy, nuclear energy, solar energy, active solar heating, passive solar heating, and wind energy. So those are the different sources of thermal energy that we are going to, one, provide a description of, two, classify as renewable or non-renewable. Now, in terms of what this means, a resource that is renewable is one that we can replenish at the rate in which we're using it. So for example, let's say it took me exactly 1 year to use up a specific resource. If I was able to replenish that resource within that same year, then it would be renewable. Non-renewable, on the other hand, would be the rate at which we use the resource cannot be replenished. So for example, maybe we use up a specific resource in a year, but it takes 1,000,000 years for it to replenish. So we can't replenish it at the rate that we're actually consuming the resource. So in which case that would be classified as non-renewable. And the third thing we want to do is we want to identify what a disadvantage of this is going to be. Now, normally I would probably just have you read through the textbook and just write down a description, identify the classification, and identify a disadvantage. But I've actually turned this into a little bit of a matching assignment. So I'm going to go to the next document now. Okay, in this document, we have a table with 3 columns. Column 1 are a bunch of different descriptions. Column 2 is a bunch of different classifications, renewable or non-renewable. And then column 3 is a con or a disadvantage. Now, what I've done is I've provided all the descriptions of these sources of thermal energy. I've identified how many are renewable or non-renewable, and I've listed down all the different cons. The thing is, though, is that these are all out of order. So what you need to do is you need to try to match up these descriptions, classifications, and disadvantages with the energy source you're looking at. So what I would do is you're going to use this page and you're going to cut out with a pair of scissors all these different descriptions, classifications, and cons. So I might go to, let's grab a little shape here. Okay, so each one of these little boxes I just cut out with a pair of scissors, and I put D just to tell you it's a description. Classification is either renewable or non-renewable, and C is a reference to a con. So I would cut these out. So cut out every little one of these boxes. And then what you're going to do, by the way, when you cut it out, it's not going to turn into a giant blue blob, but yeah, cut all these different sections out. And then once you cut all the sections off on this page, we then go to the next one, and you just have to glue it into the correct box. And again, everything on this page here is scrambled. So what you're going to need to do, you might be wondering, well, I don't know anything about these energy resources like cogeneration or electrical energy. And I'm not going to go through a PowerPoint on this, but what you can do is in your textbook, this is going to be topic 7 and pages 238 through 247. Just quickly read through the textbook And then that'll provide a description of these different sources of thermal energy that I've identified, like chemical, cogeneration, electrical, geothermal, solar, active solar heating, passive solar heating, and wind. I think the only one the textbook doesn't describe is nuclear energy, in which case you might just need to do a little bit of quick research on the internet to figure out what it is. Okay. So once again, you go to this page, you're going to cut out all the descriptions, all the classifications, all the cons. They're all scrambled. Then you're going to read through these portions of the textbook to get some knowledge about these different sources of energy. You may already know a bunch of them. And then you're going to glue them into the correct spot. And then later on, maybe a few days after I've assigned this, I'm going to post an answer key to it that you can check your work with. And then there'll be a quiz later on that's going to test you primarily on these energy sources. Although after this lesson, there's just one other quick little assignment dealing with topic 8, and then heat and temperature is going to be wrapped up. Okay, so hopefully I gave a good explanation as what you need to do here. And so go ahead and cut out all those descriptions, those classifications and cons, and then glue them into the correct spots. I'll post an answer key later, and then we're pretty close to wrapping up heat and temperature. And I will talk to you later.